Good morning, Tarun Teja Akula.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Harshvardhana.
CA channel, ma'am.
CA Chanil Kumar.
Cherlapalli, madam.
Cherlapalli. అమ్మో భయపెడతాడు.
మ్యామ్ మీరు పంపించే నోట్స్ మీరే రాస్తారా మేడం?
నేనే రాస్తానన్న.
థ్యాంక్స్ మేడం. అన్ని గానం రాస్తారు. థ్యాంక్స్ మేడం.
అందుకని రాయడం కాదు, నాకు ఒక్కోసారి ఇంకా నిద్ర వస్తుంది. నిద్ర వస్తున్నా కానీ నేను రాస్తున్నాను. హ్యాండ్ రైటింగ్ ఇట్లా తూలిపోతున్నా నేను. నాకు నేను నోట్స్ ఇస్తేనే హ్యాపీ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే పిల్లలు ఈజీ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో ఇస్తే పిల్లలకి యూస్ఫుల్, అర్థం అవుతుంది. ఫస్ట్ టాపిక్ అర్థం అవ్వాలి కదా, కాన్సెప్ట్.
ఎస్ మేడం.
నేనే రాస్తాను.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్
మీరే రాస్తారా
వర్డ్స్ రాసి పిల్లల్ని భయపెట్టడం కాదు, గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్ చిన్న చిన్న వర్డ్స్ లో నేర్చుకోవాలి, అంతే. అర్థమైందా? సెంటెన్స్ కూడా నేను చిన్నగా రాస్తాను, పెద్దగా గ్రామర్ యూజ్ చేయను. చూసారా, హై లెవెల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ రాస్తాను.
చూసినా మేడం.
రాస్తాను. ఈ రోజు నిన్న కొన్ని రాస్తాను, ఈ రోజు రాసి రేపు ఈవినింగ్ కల్లా రాసిస్తాను. ఈ రోజు ఈవినింగ్ కల్లా రాసిస్తాను. You please try to first follow me. 22 people attended. నిన్న 79 వచ్చారు, ఇంకా రావాలి. ఒక్క నిమిషం, ఇగో మా హీరో వస్తున్నాడు ఒక్కటే. అరే ఆగు లక్కీ, క్యా జల్దీ లేకరా. ఏంటి ఇదిగో, ఏమో జరిగిపోతుంది ఇక్కడ.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మ్యామ్.
సే హాయ్. హాయ్ హాయ్. క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామమ్మా. म्यूट చేయనా? कुछ भी नहीं आ रही यहाँ पर. अबे क्लास
लैपटॉप प्लेयर है मैडम. मैडम लैपटॉप प्लेयर है.
या लैपटॉप प्लेयर. से गुड मॉर्निंग टू एवरीवन. नमस्ते.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम.
जय श्री राम. जय श्री राम.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम.
वाल सुपर मैडम. जय श्री राम.
जय श्री राम.
जय
ओके क्लास स्टार्ट చేద్దాం. ओके now say bye to bye. Okay, so you have 79 letters here. Okay, सर अरे रामा, डोर क्लोज कर दीजिए.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैडम.
गुड మార్నింగ్ మా. డోర్ ఎక్కడ వాడికి లోపల నేను ఏదో చేస్తున్నా అనేది భయం.
మార్నింగ్ మేడం.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ టీచర్. సరే నా మ్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను. విల్ స్టార్ట్ ది క్లాస్. ఓ हेलो, हु इज दिस?
मैं जा रहा हूँ, टाटा.
क्या? कौन जा रहे, कहाँ पर जा रहे?
ఎవరో లైవ్ చూస్తున్నారు మ్యామ్.
చూడండి అందరికి, టు ఎవ్రీవన్ కృష్ణాష్టమి శుభాకాంక్షలు.
థాంక్యూ సేమ్ టు మేడం.
సేమ్ టు మ్యామ్.
ఈ రోజు చైతన్యలో హాలిడే జనరల్. ఎందుకు చెప్పనా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఎందుకనంటే మా చైర్మన్ గారు, మా ఫౌండర్ గారు ఉన్నారే, బిఎస్ రావు గారు, సత్యనారాయణ రావు గారు, ఆయన మేడం గారు ఇద్దరు, ఝాన్సీ లక్ష్మీదేవి గారు, లక్ష్మీ రాణి గారు, ఇద్దరు డాక్టర్స్, మీ అందరికి తెలిసిందే. వాళ్ళ కొడుకు పేరు కృష్ణ చైతన్య. ఆయన బర్త్డే ఈ రోజు. బట్ అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ హీ ఇస్ నో మోర్. ఓకే, he passed away.
ఎవరు మేడం? కృష్ణ చైతన్య.
మీ శ్రీ చైతన్య కాలేజ్
ఆల్రైట్
సార్ వల్ల
చిన్న బాబు చూసినా మేము అతను.
ఓకే సరే అమ్మా, క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. ఇంకా ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు మీట్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యు. అందరికి కృష్ణాష్టమి శుభాకాంక్షలు.
థాంక్యూ మ్యామ్. సేమ్ టు యు.
ఓకే, జై శ్రీ కృష్ణ.
చెప్పు.
Listen all of you. Yesterday what we discussed, differentiating electron. So what is a differentiating electron? Last electron. The last electron of the an element is known as differentiating electron. The last electron of the element is known as differentiating electron. Because when you arrange the elements in a period, left to right in a series, period, what happens? Listen all of you. When you arrange the elements in period, left to right, the each element, adjacent element, differ by 1 unit of atomic number. So here in second period, lithium, whose atomic number is 3. Next, beryllium, whose atomic number is 4. So difference is what? 1 unit. 1 unit means 1 electron. So in a period from left to right, each element, the adjacent elements, differ by 1 electron. Okay, that is what? The newly added electron. And because of this reason, the properties will be different. So this last electron of an element differentiates, brings difference between two adjacent elements. Hence, this electron is called differentiating electron. Okay, so now ఇప్పుడు చూడండమ్మా, ఒక్కసారి ఒక దెబ్బకి differentiating electron అంటే తెలియాలి. And one more thing, ultimate shell, penultimate shell, anti-penultimate shell. ఈ రెండు థింగ్స్ నేర్చుకుంటే SPDF బ్లాక్స్, ట్రాన్సిషన్ ఎలిమెంట్స్, సారీ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఒక్క దెబ్బకి అయిపోతుంది. వింటున్నారా? So now I'll tell you element, you have to give the answer in the chat box. What is the differentiating electron of sodium element? Fatafat, I want answer. Who is this one? No. No. నాకు కావాల్సిన answer. No. I'm getting 1, 2, 3. No. What is the differentiating electron of sodium element? No. Someone giving 1, someone giving 10, 8. No. 11th electron. Yes or not? 11th electron. 11 electron. Why? Because its atomic number is 11. The 11th electron is its last electron. Yes or not? The 11th electron is its last electron. So the last electron is differentiating. Now tell me, in which sub-level it is present, the last electron? Fatafat, I want answer. Okay, 2p now. 3s. 3s. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1, 3s. Did you got? So the configuration for the differentiating electron of sodium is 3s1. Next, in the same way, listen carefully. P for phosphorus. P for phosphorus. P for phosphorus. Okay. And remember, in our body, you have lot of phosphorus, you know. You have lot of phosphorus. Without phosphorus, you can't survive. Listen all of you. Without phosphorus, you can't survive. Atomic number 15, some people giving. So differentiating electron is phosphorus. I'm telling something about phosphorus. Listen all of you. Atomic number of phosphorus is 15. Someone gave answer. And its last electron is 15th. So obviously, my question will be what? Its configuration. Oh, who is this? Himakartikeya. Oh, Himakartikeya gave 3p3. Very good. Okay, Kiran also gave. So many people are giving. Nitin, Kartikeyan. 3p3. Yes. So I'm going to tell you two things about the phosphorus. Without phosphorus, you can't survive. Though your body is muscular, the muscles are proteins. Listen all of you. A body, okay, we are made up of muscles. Okay, muscles, and which is protein. Muscular protein means amino acids. Amino carboxylic acid. That you have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen in amino acids. That's it. But from the muscles, because of muscular body, you will not get energy. Remember, Due to this, muscular body will not get energy. You will get energy from glucose, sugar. Okay, you will get energy from sugar, but sugar also is not direct. Listen, all of you. Sugar also is not direct. Someone gave answer ATP. Very good. Okay, so you all passed. Okay, successfully completed your 10th class. Okay, so the glucose undergoes respiration, and in respiration, what happens? C6H12O6 in presence of 6O2 undergoes oxidation, which is known as glycolysis. Glycolysis in the body tissue cell. In the cell, the glucose split into CO2 and H2O. The reverse is, what is that reverse process is? Photosynthesis, which takes place in plants. Exactly reverse. So the glucose undergoes oxidation because treated with oxygen. Respiration means you inhale oxygen. So glucose split into CO2 and H2O, and for each one glucose 36 ATPs. Remember easily, C6H12O6. Why I'm telling this, in next incoming chapters, you're going to do this calculation. Okay, glucose formula C6H12O6. So take the 2 6 C6H12O6. 6 6 are 36. Remember easily. So when one glucose undergoes glycolysis, oxidation, 36 to 38 ATPs are produced. So ATP is what? Energy. ATP is energy. Its full form, so many people gave, very good people, adenosine triphosphate. So adenosine triphosphate, hello, oi. But this is not direct. Adenosine triphosphate. To the adenosine, 3 phosphates are linked. 3 phosphates. So ATP changes to ADP, adenosine diphosphate, adenosine monophosphate. Finally, you get phosphate. The phosphate is energy. Okay, nu enta tinna em kaadu vintunava. The phosphate is your energy. This is one thing to remember. Energy is phosphate. Understand? And this ATP is stored in mitochondria. Hence, mitochondria is called powerhouse of cells. This is one thing about body, even human beings or any plant or anything. And one more thing, our bones, a skeleton is made up of calcium phosphate. Teeth is made up of calcium phosphate. So it is an important element in our body. This is what about phosphorus. You must remember. And whatever mountains, hills you see, they all are nothing but calcium phosphate rocks. Okay? Then come to here. So what is the atomic number of phosphorus? What is the atomic number of phosphorus? 15. So what will be its differentiating electron? 15th. Then its electronic configuration. Electronic configuration 3p3. Whatever I told, this all will be helpful in stoichiometry and biomolecules in second year. Stoichiometry this year only. You must keep all these things in your mind. So, okay, ho gaya. Now, scandium. Element name is scandium. Scandium. Its symbol is SC. SC. Supreme Court. Okay, SC. Now its atomic number, very good, 21. Then what will be its differentiating electron, last electron? 21. Now tell me where it is present. In which sublevel it is present? D or S? I want pakka answer because you should not get confused here. D or S? Whether it is 4s electron or 3d electron, I want sure answer. Many of you giving what? S and many of you giving D. Is it the 21st electron? Now everyone knows. Scandium atomic number is 21. The 21st electron is last electron. And this 21st electron must be differentiating electron. Very good. Very good. But is it this present in 4s or 3D? 4s. Many people giving 4s. Wrong. Wrong. ఇప్పుడు నేను రాంగ్ చెప్పగానే 3D అని పెట్టకూడదు ప్లీజ్. నేను మీకు ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పాను అకార్డింగ్ టు అబౌవ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్. ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ టేక్ ఎ పేపర్ ప్లీజ్. సాయి కిరణ్, all of you take a paper. Shrikara, Sai Kirana. All of you take a paper. Then calculate the n plus l value. All of you calculate the n plus l value. N means principal quantum number. L means principal quantum number. Batare abhi. L means azimuthal quantum number. This n plus L is nothing but above principal, energy of orbital. And what is orbital? Neeku electron ekkada dorikite akkada a 3D space ni emanta manamu orbital. Wherever you find electron, that 3D space where you find electron is called orbital. Okay na? Nenu Kukatpalli lo unte Kukatpalli 3D space my orbital. నిజాంపేట్ లో ఉంటే ఆ నిజాంపేట్ నా ఆర్బిటాల్. నేను చర్లపల్లి జైల్లో ఉంటే అది నా ఆర్బిటాల్. వింటున్నారా? నేను ఒక సపోజ్ గాంధీ హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్తే అదే నా ఆర్బిటాల్. సో నేను ఒక ఎలక్ట్రాన్ అయితే నా చుట్టూ ఉన్న 3D స్పేసే ఆర్బిటాల్. సో ప్లీజ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ నౌ లిసన్. n is principal quantum number, l is azimuthal quantum number. This will be equal to an orbital. An orbital and which is equal to an electron energy. So now just take the pen and paper, calculate the energy of 3D and 4s. 3D and 4s, all of you. For 3D, what is n value? 3. For D, L is 2 because L equal to 0, yes. L equal to 1, P. L equal to 2, D. L equal to 3, F. So what is the value of L for this D? 2. So what is the energy of 3D? What is the energy of 3D? 3 plus 2, 5. Then in the same way, what is the value of 4s? For 4s sublevel, n equal to 4. For s, L equal to 0. So what is the energy of 4s? 4. Now tell me, bacha, all of you, in between 5 and 4, which is greater value? 3D or 4s? 3D or 4s? 3D. So whose energy is more, 3D or 4s? You write 3D energy more, 3D more at least. Whose energy is more? 3D is more. So now everyone knows that energy of 3D is more than the 4s. Now, if you take the 3D series element, I have given very clearly electronic configuration. In 3D series elements, we have 10 elements. They are scandium to zinc. Scandium to zinc. Atomic number 21 to 30. 21 to 30. So, how many electrons are there? 21 to 30. How you write? See, all of you. After this, you please go through the notes also. In atomic structure, I gave electronic configuration. For usefulness also. So, see, all of you. Here. Now we are going to write electronic configuration. 21. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Abba inta rayala. Condense cheddam, chinna cheddam. What is that? Argon. So for all of them, you can use argon. Up to argon is what? 18. So yes or not? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 18. Then after that, what you do? If you write here 4s2, because just now you calculated energy of 4s is less, 3D is more. So when you fill up to 4s2, what is that? 20 electrons. 20 electrons. Yes or not? 20 electrons. So Now, where will be the 21st electron? This is the 21st electron. The green 3d1 is a 21st electron. 3d1 is a 21st electron. So for scandium, what is its last electron? 21. And where it is present? 3d, a d sublevel. So not only for scandium, for all this, scandium to zinc, their last electron, differentiating electron for d block elements, their last electron present in d sublevel. Yes or not? Yes. So now everyone is clear that. What is that? For d block scandium, 3d1 is the last electron. Okay, last electron, and this is differentiating electron. And why we write 3d before the 4s? I told it many times. Because, see all of you, see this is nucleus, P for positive, protons are positive, neutrons are neutral. Now this red color circle is nucleus, which is spherical. Around this, the first orbit. Next, with green, second orbit. Next, once again black, third orbit. Now I'm using red. This is fourth orbit. I'm using blue also this time. So how many orbits I have drawn here? Give me fatafat answer. The central red is nucleus. How many circles I have drawn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 circles. So each spherical path is what? Orbit. Everyone knows. Each circular path is known as orbit, which is known as a orbit. Now, for every element, there will be one last orbit, last electron, and wherever you find the last electron in the atom, that is the last orbit. So suppose, think this element is having its last electron in the fifth orbit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this last orbit is known as what? The last orbit from this. Okay, this is what? Nucleus. This is what? Nucleus. Red color is nucleus. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So in the last orbit, it is having its differentiating electron. So the last orbit is ultimate shell. Is known as ultimate shell. Ultimate means last. Suppose in little high level language, sometimes warnings are given. Okay, if someone is fired from job, someone is fired from family, so they will be what? Terminated and given a notice. For notice, you can say ultimatum, means final chance. Ultimatum means final chance. So what is the meaning of ultimate? Final, last. So remember, ultimate shell means last. That is, you can say last shell or outermost shell. Outermost shell. So remember, and this is given by every orbit given a principal quantum number. That is okay. But here, to understand, this ultimate shell is given by small n. Small. It is not principal, just n is given. So if n equal to 5, but all of you listen here. If n equal to 5 and the 5 is ultimate, I'm just using u. क्यों बोलते जगह कम है यहाँ पर? n equal to 5, n is ultimate shell, which is u. Then what will be this 4? N minus 1. Is that clear? N minus 1 is 4. And this is what? Pre-ultimate. Pre-ultimate. From the outside, the first outer shell is Sai Satvik. Please listen. Please listen. So here, from outside, fifth shell is last shell, which is ultimate. So what will be the fourth shell? Second last. So when fifth is ultimate for this element, fifth is last ultimate, what will be the second ultimate? N equal to 4, which is given as n minus 1. So it is given as penultimate shell. It is given as a penultimate shell. It is given by penultimate name, penultimate shell, or pre-ultimate. Pre-ultimate. In the same way, what about this third? It is third one. From the outside, fifth is first outermost, fourth is second outermost, and third is third outermost. So this is n minus 2. N minus 2. And this is known as pre-penultimate. Third shell is. It is pre-penultimate. Pre means before. Means even before the penultimate shell. And you must be clear in these words. Because here you are come acrossing by S block, P block, D block and F block elements. So for S and P block elements, you find their electrons in the ultimate shell, N. But whereas in the D block elements, their differentiating electron is present in penultimate shell. Though you have 4s and 3d for scandium to xenon, but where is the electron? Differentiating electron in 3d. In 3d. So compared to 4, 3 is what? Penultimate shell. Penultimate shell. So in the same way for F block elements. For F block elements, you find their F block elements, you find their last electron in the n-2 level. N-2 level, which is anti-penultimate or pre-penultimate shell. So all must be clear in what is ultimate shell, penultimate shell, and anti-penultimate shell, and what is differentiating electron. The rest is, everything is easy. Okay. So now I'll give you a question. All of you write down. All of you write down, please. All of you write down a question, please. Okay. An element X. An element X is having its differentiating electron. Its differentiating electron. An element X is having its differentiating electron in n-1. In n-1. N-1. Penultimate shell. N-1. Penultimate shell. Penultimate shell. Comma. It belongs to. It belongs to. Right. Tell me the answer, because I already given the notes and we are talking on that. So what will be the answer? It is having its differentiating electron in n-1 penultimate shell. So what will be the answer? I'm not going to give you any options, because since yesterday I'm explaining, I have sent you some notes also. Sai Satvik, you did not listen in the beginning today. Okay. So for this question answer, what will be the answer? An element X is having its differentiating electron in n-1 penultimate shell. It belongs to. I want answer. I'm not going to give you 4 options. It is not multiple choice. It is concept. When you're strong in concept, you can easily select one answer from multiple choice. Concept will be tough, but writing exam is easy. Use common sense. Here, listen. Answer must be what? Maybe D block or transition elements. Maybe D block or transition elements. Write down answer, all of you. Maybe D block or transition elements. Maybe D block or okay. Maybe D block or transition element. How? See here. Just now we learned that in 3D series, the last electron present in 3D, not 4s. So 3D is penultimate. If 4 is ultimate shell, 3 is penultimate shell. And for scandium to zinc, all the D block or transition elements. So for all of them have what? The last electron in D sublevel, n-1. 3D is n-1. Okay. So based on differentiating electron, the elements are classified into 4 blocks. If the last electron of an element present in S sublevel is block. F sublevel is block. It is having its last electron in P sublevel, P block. D sublevel, D block. Having its last electron in F sublevel, then F block. But see here, please my children, Rupa madam, Rupa Kuntala chemistry. Okay, please. Remember, I am not going to tell you orbital. You must say it is what? S sublevel, S subshell. That is correct. Orbital is second grade answer. Pakka. Okay. Point answer is what? Sublevel. So see here. So for S block, what will be configuration? Since S can accommodate only 2 electrons, therefore can be what is S1 or S2. So therefore, for S block elements, the configuration is NS1 or NS2. Therefore, NS1 to 2. So in S block, how many groups are possible? 2 groups, since S can accommodate 2 electrons. Next, in P block, how many electrons can be placed in P sublevel? 6. So where you are getting, when you fill the P sublevel, once you complete the filling electrons in S. So here, after filling of NS will be 2 completed. You are going to fill electrons in NP, and P can accommodate how many electrons? 6. So NP1, NP2, NP3, NP4, NP5, NP6. So NS to NP1, third group. NS to NP2, fourth group. NS to NP3, fifth group. NS to NP4, sixth group. NS to NP5, seventh group. NS to NP6, eighth group. So like that, how many groups are possible in the P block? 6 groups. So 2 groups in the S and 6 groups in the P. Now how many groups in the periodic table? 18. 2 plus 6, 8. How many remaining? Kitne bache? 10. Remember, these D block elements contain 10 groups. That is, I already told that S and P block elements given by alphabet A type, and D and F all are given by alphabet B type. And remember, all the F block elements are present in single group 3B. Single group 3B. So 2 plus 6 plus 10, it is what? 18 groups. So now for D block electronic configuration, after filling NS. Now what is the NS? N outermost shell. So after filling of 4s, you fill 3D pakka. So what is that? NS2. And you are going N-1 because 4s 3D, 5s 4D, 6s 5D, like that. 7s 6D. So N-1D. And D can accommodate how many electrons? D can accommodate how many electrons, beta? 10 electrons. Sorry, 10 electrons. So how many groups are possible? 10 groups are possible. So what you write here? 1 to 10. But here, if you have chromium, like chromium, molybdenum, tungsten series, top to bottom, they have what? 4 electrons, and they violates Above principle. And this 4 becomes 5 by jumping 1 electron from ns to n minus 1d. So what will be configuration of d block? N minus 1d, 1 to 10, ns 1 or 2 or 1 to 2. Then when you fill the, and where you fill the F, I will write up. So for F block, now here n minus 2, n minus 1, n. So ns, after filling of ns, the electron goes into n minus 1d. In the same way, after filling of this n minus 1d, the electron goes into n minus 2f. But here, what is that? In lanthanides and actinides, F block elements, they contain only one n minus 1d electron only. Okay, so after filling of ns2, S can have 2 electrons. But here, after filling of only 1 electron in the n minus 1d, the electron goes into the n minus 2 F. And F can accommodate how many maximum electrons? 14. So therefore, what you take here? 1 to 14. But remember, there are no 14 groups in the F block. All the F block element belongs to only 3b group. So I have given with the green pen, green mark there. All are present in 3b. All commonly shows +3 charge because they lose ns2 electron, n minus d 1 electron. Loss of 3 electrons +3. Therefore, group number is 3. F, L, D and F are known as B type. Now listen all of you. Here n minus 1d 0 or 1. Why 0 or 1? Because in the same way, when P can have 6 electron, P sublevel can have 6 electron. 6 electron means completely filled. 3 electron means half filled. In the same way, D sublevel can have how many total electrons? Fatapat, I want answer. D sublevel can fill how many electrons? 10 electrons. 10 electrons means completely filled. Then what will be D5 configuration? Half filled. D5 is a half filled. Now, how many completely electrons? How many electrons can be placed maximum in the F sublevel? 14. So 14 is completely filled. Then what will be half filled F sublevel? 7 is a 7. So see here, in the same way, so in chromium case, if 3d4 was there, 3d4 is no more half filled, no more completely filled. Therefore, one electron was jumping from 4s to 3d and become 3d5, which is more stable, more exchanges, more stability. In the same way, if this n minus 2f is having 6 electrons. So 7 is half filled, 14 is completely filled. So what about 6? Neither half filled nor completely filled. In that case, this n minus 1d will jump here. In that case, this n minus 2f becomes 7, half filled, more stable. N minus 1d will become a 0. In the same way, what happens if this F is having 13 electrons? Means 1 electron for the completely filled. In this case, what happened? This n minus d electron goes here and n minus 2f become a 14 and this n minus 1d 0. So time is up, less than 1 minute. Please all of you, one take question. Calculate the energy of 4f Rasco Naina 2022202476 on the pair. Calculate the energy of 4f, 5d and 6s according to n plus L rule.